Dime.tv.
Previously on Mystical Ninja. Well, hello once again, and welcome back to Nathan Plays Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. My name is Nathan, and this is Mystical Ninja for the Nintendo 64. In the previous episode, we completed the bizarre stealth minigame, as you saw, and gained the ability for Ibisumaru to shrink down and get through small entrances. This was going to give us the ability to sneak into the Haunted Toys Castle. And as we left off last time, we saved the game just outside of the castle, so now it's time to head on inside and see what's going on. Well, it's pretty dark, as you can see, so that's kind of a spooky thing. And here come what appear to be some sort of paper ghosty guys. We're just gonna, I don't know, I guess avoid them. Didn't really seem to do a whole lot. And the red Dharma torch is used against this door. Oh, torches. Well, didn't we just also get something to deal with torches? And that is this charged fireball shot. So it's a good thing that I randomly wandered in the other direction before coming up here. Surely enough, after lighting both the torches, the door is open. Here's what appears to be some sort of a crane game. Unless you turn the power on, the crane game will not operate. Hard to tell what's in the middle there, what my prize is, but I guess we'll come back to it a little later. Kind of a funky bass line going on here, which I appreciate. Oh boy. Okay. So this looks like you just gotta get to the other side. Not much of a puzzle to it, just timing, and we'll see if mine is any good. Go, 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 go. Ah, no, not quite, not quite. Still pretty good, though. Not too many hits. Brings us to the next room. The mannequin head shooters are back, as creepy as ever. And there did appear to be something on top of that large head in the corner, so we're going to make our way there before heading through the door. Of course, we are going to fall in the water more than once, because that's just what we do here. We just fall off of things in this game. Not sure if it's the game or my rig for capture, but there just seems to be a little bit of latency sometimes when I jump, and I just have to press the button a little earlier than I think I should. There's 3 more strength lucky cats to go before I get another strength increase, another heart container there. We have a much larger room there. We can sort of make our way through the spears and more shooting heads. We'll take the hard way around and immediately get knocked into the water. At least we still got the funky bass line to keep us company. Doesn't really seem to be a great way back onto the platform around here, except, oh, there's a bit of a ramp. Nicely done. There we go. A little better timing this time around. In the middle of this platform, we found Mr. Elephant. We now have access to the map showing the insides of this castle. And a little bit of instruction on how to do that. Rather a lot of spikes there, but we managed to breeze through them. And there's a couple of strength dango there at the end. I suppose we might have been able to swim this entire room, what with the ramp that's right here. But then we would have missed Mr. Elephant. And we like him. He also narrates the game, as you recall. Here we have another new enemy, this sort of a bouncing, blobby thing. And they appear to be a little bit too much for my reflexes. Something in the corner there, not quite sure what this is all about. It's not an enemy, we can pick it up. And it looks sort of blossomish, would you say? Well, I'm going to finish off the other enemies in the room here and see if I can figure out what to do with that. Getting a little more proactive about taking them down before they start hopping around too much. You can use the coins, but that costs coins. And defeating them all summons a key. But we'll come back to that. I have a feeling that I need to bring that blossom thing up onto this elevator here, so I'm gonna do that. That's kind of one of those like game logic intuition things, I guess. Can't chuck it on. Maybe I need to carry it here. There we go. And I'm just gonna go ahead and guess that it wants to go into the middle of this thing, but getting it into the middle is rather more difficult than you'd expect. Not quite it. I don't know, it's possible that I remembered what to do with these from the dim recesses of my mind when I last played the game. Years and years ago, but there we go. Once we finally get it a little more centered, a beautiful flower grows. And money comes out, just like in real life. Run around like crazy and grab all the cash. This flower is paying out. Nice, we're now just shy of 300 Rio. And we can grab our key and move on. We have, I think these are board game pieces. The game maybe is called Shogi off the top of my head. It's kind of a strategy game. Anyway, they're now giant rafts for us to try and navigate around. There's a locked door there. And, oh, looks like some sort of a thing there. I'll just casually walk that tightrope, no big deal. Grab a golden fortune doll, which automatically increases my strength gauge by 1. That's like, it's like finding 4 of the white ones all at one time. Nice. At least you can hop back onto these, those large raft things easily. Okay, looks like we have another elevator here, and some vases off to the side that of course we're going to loot for the cash and such. Again, not sure if it's my rig or not, but the game really is this dark when I played it. It's actually quite difficult to see where the floor is in some areas, but it'll get better a little later on. We have sort of a longish section where basically all you need to do is jump from platform to platform. And even if you miss, the consequences are not very dire. Brings you to another elevator. Up you go. Don't really need the strength right now, which is nice. And that's all it's going to give me. Too bad. Well, this appears to be rather a large rocker switch here, as well as another lucky cat and a key. The power to the crane game has been turned on. The castle is slightly brighter. 2 more, and my strength gauge goes up by 1. Well, let's go play this crane game. Now, in my excitement, I accidentally skipped the directions to the crane game, but it seems pretty intuitive. We have a big up arrow and a big right arrow. I'm guessing we're going to stand on those. Yep, there we go. And judging by the shadow on the floor, we're going to try and maneuver over to whatever the thing is. Looks like it's a camera? But that wouldn't really make sense given the time period, but then I guess a giant robot doesn't exactly make sense either. And then again, very much of this game doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, so camera, why not? Let's see what we won. It's another power up for Abisumaru. He is the wind-up camera. By continuously holding down the B button and then letting go, a light will shine. which allows you to see items that you would not normally see, or hidden items. Even ghosts will appear. Well, where did we just see some of those ghosts? Okay, let's see here. How do we get to the... Okay, it's another item, sort of like switching, and then you hold it down, and then... he does that. Okay, let's try it out on these guys. Come here, ghosties. Well, as you can see, they're a bright white now, and then when I accidentally shrink myself and unshrink myself, equip the hammer, and they can now be dispatched with one quick shot. So we'll see what this allows us to do in the rest of the castle, although we do have another key now. Mentioned something about hidden items, so I thought I would try it in this room, but yielded no results, and then I basically forgot to try that. Okay, timing again. Will the camera reveal a hidden way over the spikes? No, it does not. So my only way is through. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, need a little lie down after that. Hi-yi-yi. I actually did it. Didn't take a hit. Time to relax. All right, now we gotta get going. Passing back through the rooms we already did, we come back to the locked door that we passed by before. And we get to a new area. Need to get that camera out quickly, because the ghosts will mob you as soon as you come through the door. Even though they don't always seem to do damage quite right away, you just don't want to hang around in their vicinity. A new layer has been subtly added to the soundtrack, and we also found Mr. Arrow, which has the location of the boss on the map. Although this castle has been pretty linear so far, so it's not really something I'm gonna feel like I need to keep track of at all times. Like I'm just gonna get there eventually. Anyway, new layer of music. It's pretty good. Adds kind of a synthy thing on top. A little bit more to the drum track, I think. So here the water has turned a noticeable shade of purple, which I'm going to go ahead and guess is damaging to me, as opposed to our lovely blue water elsewhere in the castle. I consulted the map for a bit just to see if it would give any clues about which way I want to go here, if I want to pop into this door or head down to the end there. Kind of hard to see what's over there, so I guess we'll take what we have here for now and see if I need to cross over that stuff just at the moment. Ghosts coming at you fast. And then it's time to just start mashing the button like crazy and swinging for all you're worth. For my efforts, another silver key, which is quite nice, and then I can head back out, and I suppose I'm going to need that silver key at the end of the spike hallway here. Carefully, carefully. Okay, go. Alright, so yes, the water is not good for you. But then again, neither are the spikes, so it's one of those rock in a hard place kind of situations. Here we have another new enemy type, not terribly fearsome. It's just sort of little toy soldier looking fellas that run directly at you and don't do a whole lot else. Still, they can be a dangerous distraction when combined with the bouncy fellas, which I guess is what I'm calling them now, bouncy fellas. And here we have a set of stairs leading to an elevator and up to the next floor. This one has a delightful blue theme to it, a color I'm very partial to. And some of my poor timing and hammer skills on display. So we come to a new room with sort of a structure there in the front and what looks to be a ramp heading up to on top of it, so we'll check it out. And wouldn't you know, it's a sort of giant container of the horrible purple stuff as well as these spinny tops here. Spaced at intervals, it seems like I'm going to have to jump across there, but can I even make that jump for the first one? Like, it looks far, you know? Not a lot of good options here. So I'm kind of following it up and down just to see if I can gauge this distance appropriately. Completely arbitrarily, I switch characters. It doesn't really matter at all. I've found no major difference in the way they move. Chain pipe doesn't work. And then I just go and throw myself into the water, which actually does a good bit of damage. Every couple of seconds, it knocks off half a health, and since I don't really have a ton of hearts, that means I chew through a couple of them in really no time at all. Not encouraging to my success. Falling in again, very sad. And just like that, we're down another entire heart. Again, the character switches are totally unnecessary. Not really sure why I did it. Made the first one, made the second one. Misjudged. Ended up back in the water. Is there a way up on the far side? No, it appears not. So we're heading back to the start. Now we have a heart and a half left. And things are looking pretty grim. It's kind of a cute little tired animation. As does Yai. Carefully, carefully, don't run into the pole. Admire the texture work on the tops there. Sort of eye-searing color combinations. And then we make it to the other side. We've got a heart and a half left. We have a silver key. We have a bit of dignity left after that terrible display of jumping. Oh, no, there goes the rest of it. That was all the dignity. Actually run out of hearts completely and am forced to rely on my rice cake that I bought ages ago, which brings me back 4 hearts immediately. But suffice it to say, things are looking a little bit dicey at this point. Fortunately, lifting my spirits is EI's completely awesome slice on these bouncy fellas. Which, again, is probably never going to get old. I really mean that. I love it. So, of course, we've got a room with a bunch of spinny things, a whole lot of bad liquid to fall into, spikes there. Just the kind of thing you want to walk into when you have 3.5 hearts left. Caution is the word of the day as we inch forward and try not to fall in for stupid reasons. Check out this room in the corner here. And with ghosts coming at me, it's time to bust out the camera again. And then clean up. Having done so, I get another key. Take on some more spinny tops there. We have another lucky cat off to the side there that of course we're going to go for. If this stupid pole doesn't block us and throw us off. We'll hop there. Silver fortune doll. One more and my strength gauge increases by 1. Almost there. And what did I spy in the distance? That looks like a shiny gold dango there that's going to refill my health completely if I can make it over there without dying. I suppose I could have gone there right off the start from when I walked in the room, but now I have to take a little bit more of an indirect route, starting with jumping back onto this top, seeing if I can make my way over there. Looking good so far. Okay, we'll jump down to this platform here. And now I have a series of 3 of these sort of, I don't know, are they paper fans or something like that? To clear and try and get over to those platforms. 1, looking good. A little impulsive there. And should have waited till I felt it. There goes careful. 2 hearts left. No items to get my back here. Oh, I did make one discovery there that you can see me using, is that it doesn't actually require crouching to move the camera. It's just time. I suppose the crouching bought me enough time. You just have to stand still for long enough. But as soon as you move, the camera stops moving. As you can see, I got a little bit excited that I had made it over that jump and tried to just run for the gold dango, but fell in one more time. Now I'm going to take a little bit of a nap once more. Just to really reflect on my day and the challenges and choices so far. And now we're going to move on. I have to make a mistake a number of times before I stop making it. Just so you know. If you're ever frustrated by my gameplay in these videos, I'm so sorry. We have 2 doors left that we haven't explored, and I believe both of them are locked. This one looks like it's going to match our silver key that we have in the inventory. All it takes is a simple looking jump up to a top. There's no ramps up if I miss it, so that's a little bit frightening, a little alarming. We're going to skip through the water and take a half-heart damage there, just so that we're a little more assured of being able to get on top of this top. This platform being slightly higher than the one I just came from. And when the stars align, there we go, we make a quick hop over. Not a big deal. And it takes us the rest of the way. So we have some kind of extremely large jump ropes here. But we're just going to say nah to all that and walk into this room, which has 1 raised platform and a couple of jars. Lovely. Supply room. Castles have been pretty profitable for me so far. This is the second one, and they both got me a lot of cash. So that's nice. Now to make my way through the jump ropes, and wasn't especially careful there, but I don't really feel as concerned right at this second. Even knowing how quickly I can squander these hearts, I still feel like really safe with a full tank. Anyway, these ghosts are coming at you pretty quick, and the game is trying to give you a hint about using the camera to reveal the false floor tiles. It turns out the camera does not retain a charge between rooms, so you just have to act quickly when you walk in. Wait for them all to come toward you, and now you can see there's some holes there in the floor. I tried to use the camera one more time just to make sure, but the information didn't change. There's just the bad water. And just have to walk a little bit more carefully than usual. Here in the corner, we have a surprise pack. Remaining players are increased by 1. I had 2 before, now I have 3. Good to know. As well as the gold key. Carefully make our way back, and then we had to pass back through the jump rope for heart room, as well as most of this room. Gold dango is back if I screw up too badly, so that feels good. The items do seem to respawn when you're not in the room, so the game isn't that punishing. I'm just bad at it, I guess. I was trying to jump in the water to sort of minimize the time I was spending in it. I don't know if that makes a difference, but it makes me feel better. Come to an extremely large room with a whole bunch of blobby fellas waiting to be sliced in half by Yai and her awesome sword. Another layer has crept into the music track. It's kind of subtle, but it's appreciated. So that door in the background does appear to be locked. And we have a very cool new synth layer on the track. This is the track in its completed form, and it's, again, pretty catchy. I mean, the game is not hurting for good music. So we'll have to investigate this room and see if the key is in here. We don't have a key, but we do have a billiard table, oddly enough, with an arrow over one of the balls there. None of them seem very interested in going into the pockets, even though they probably should. So we'll run over and try hitting one to see what happens. Yep, when you hit one, no matter how, it goes straight into a pocket, just seeks right in there, so that's very cool. And of course there's a certain order to do it in, with the other balls threatening to flatten you as you do so. So it took some doing and a whole lot of missing, as well as being run over a couple of times, but eventually I got the job done. Received another key for my trouble. The key is just for this door right here, which leads to a pretty perilous looking room full of narrow pathways and spikes, as well as ghosts. So that means I need to switch over to Abi Samaru, get his camera on, take the picture real quick. Those are going to be interesting to develop later. A lot of abstract floor patterns and dark rooms. Two platforms here. One looks to have a golden dango on it, and the other one most likely the key that we need. Thanks to the unhelpful camera. Just gotta kind of muddle through. It is a little bit frustrating not having camera controls like most other 3D games. However, this one appears to be using the camera control buttons for other functions like switching characters and items and things. The diamond key. A key of great significance. And value? Inflated value. They just have a bunch of diamond keys in a warehouse, man. And they just use them to drive up the prices on consumers, and they convinced everybody that they need diamond keys for all the engagement rings and special occasions. Corporations. Anyway, here's a sign. It says find the Darmanio's weak point using the wind-up camera, and there's another elevator, so I'm going to go ahead and guess that a boss fight is incoming. The Surrender Robot, Darumanio. I don't know why he's called that, but he's large. He has claws. I took a picture, and now I can see his heart. The heart kind of fades in and out. Usually coming into view after he's completed an attack. And surely enough, that little noise means that that's the time to connect. But wait a minute. Why am I using my coins one at a time when I could be doing fireball damage? Or missing completely with fireball damage? You know, strats. It's all very complicated. Wheels within wheels. Most of the attacks are extremely easy to dodge, except for that one sort of explosion attack there that I had a lot of trouble with. And then, you know, mainly the boss just takes time. He doesn't really vary his attacks at all from what you're seeing here. And when he does that, he's about to shoot, and the secret, as it turns out, is just to run the other way. Running left does not work. You'll run straight into the explosions. Running right is fine. So after a few minutes of doing this, I won. Receive the miracle flower in the shape of a flower. kids a lesson in Beach Mountain dancing. Oh. Mystery Man has arrived. Apparently the other person's name is Colon. He says he's the leader of the Peach Mountain Shoguns, and in the fresh spring breeze, sha-la-la, I come alive, la-la. I guess this is poetry or song lyrics or something. Spring breeze dancing. Possibly the best and most intimidating final boss I've ever heard of. Goemon has already completely forgotten what he said. Nice. Comedy. The dialogue in this game is still riveting. Apparently Danson just picks names for people that he feels suits them. You know, I have to agree with him on this one. Ibisumaru doesn't seem entirely dissimilar from an Antonio. I think I might just go with that for a while. See what happens. See if I remember. Fernandez? No, Antonio was better. Or maybe Goemon's Fernandez. Yeah, that makes sense. There you go. The Great Stage Plan. Goemon, do you have like hearing damage or... Anyway, don't come to the Chugoku region no matter what. Well, I guess that's our next stop. I do love the way they spin in and out of the room. And Yai reminds us, just in case we didn't understand. So the game gives us the opportunity to save, and I decided that this was about the appropriate length for a video. So next up, I suppose we're going to figure out how to get to the Chugoku region and continue fighting against Spring Breeze Danson and his nefarious plans. Thank you ever so much for watching, and as always, we'll see you next mission.